Alright guys, so I'm gonna give you guys my prediction for the main event of UFC 297, Strickland versus Dricus Plessis. Sorry for the late upload, I got home late from school today, but my prediction for this fight is, I think I'm gonna go with Strickland. Originally, earlier this week, I was going to this fight thinking, you know what, Dricus is probably gonna catch him, he's probably gonna drop him, and then submit him, but, really thinking about this fight and really, visualizing this fight too, I just feel like Strickland is going to be very hard to hit for Dricus Plessis. Dricus is obviously, he's very awkward, but he's very technical. Surprisingly, he does a lot of things that look like he's just doing random things, but he's actually you can tell he's one of those guys that really does his research really well, and he's he comes up with proper game plans. When he fought there until he knew to get to the grappling, when he fought Whitaker, he copied Cannonier by going to the southpaw stance and shutting him down with that power jab. And I feel like with Strickland, he's going to have another good game plan. But the biggest thing about Dricus is we don't know about his cardio. I made a mistake earlier this week. I said he's been 5 rounds once, but I don't think he's ever been 5 rounds. I think because before his career in the UFC, he was finishing all his opponents. His one and only decision is against Brad Tavares, and that was in the UFC, and that was 3 rounds. So Dricus has never been 5 rounds in his career, whereas I think Strickland has he's probably had 6 or 7 fights that have been scheduled to go 5 rounds, and I think he's had about 6 and 7 fights that won the distance. And I just feel like in this matchup, his defense is going to be sharp. He looks in great shape. Which, by the way, I just find that a little bit of me is suspicious about that, considering the fact that, USADA is left and all of a sudden he's in the best shape of his career. I don't think he's on anything, but that does seem very, very odd. Obviously, there's a factor of, Dricus brought up some things from his past and that made him train harder. Which, could be the case, but it's just very odd. The timing is very weird. But, yeah, Strickland's in great shape. I expect his cardio to be there. I think he might even try to push the pace even earlier. This whole fight week, he always talks about, how he wants to fight, in the middle of the cage. He says some pretty suspect stuff, too, no snows and something else. That's unnecessary to say. Just say, let's just put our feet in the tire and then just bang, just like they did in boxing. Those drills where, you put one foot in the tire and then you just work your opponent's body, or you spar, just like they did in that one training scene in Creed 2. But Strickland just seems like he's ready. So does Dricus. Obviously, he had that nose thing, and we don't know how good his cardio is. I really, he trains at elevation in South Africa, so that's going to help him out a lot, because obviously, having that elevation base and then you go out somewhere where there's no elevation, it's going to boost your cardio a lot. But yeah, like I said, Dricus, I don't see him hitting Strickland too clean. And another part where he can win is getting takedowns, and I feel like Strickland is he's got some solid takedown defense. He trains at Extreme Couture, which is kind of a grappling, well-rounded camp, or wrestling and well-rounded camp. So there's a lot of hard wrestling training there, and he's got a lot of good sparring partners there too. So that's going to help him out a lot. And yeah, like I said, his timing and everything, I think it's going to be on point. I don't think Dricus is going to be as, precise and as technical as Alex Pereira in terms of setting his shot. Obviously, you can catch Strickland. He's not untouchable on the feet, but if you can catch him, can you catch him clean? That's the thing. Pereira, he could catch him and he could catch him clean. Jared Cannonier, he could catch Strickland, but he couldn't catch him clean. Israel Adesanya, sometimes he was able to catch him, but it wasn't clean either. So is Dricus going to be able to do that? Someone with the same reach as Strickland. He does have some awkward shots he throws here and there. He'll mix in some weird attacks, but he's still technical and he's not going to go back. That's the thing. So it might make it like, I feel like he could catch Strickland when Strickland is about to throw like at him. So kind of like how, you know, some like Alexander Volkanovski beat Max Holloway punch at the same time as he does, because he's not going to be able to get out the way. He's going to be in that range, right? So a lot of mistakes I've seen from Adesanya was like, you know, Sean Strickland would just like throw jabs out there. Adesanya would just kind of wait back, and then he would go for a big shot. Strickland would pull out the way, and then he would counter Adesanya. So he was kind of baiting Adesanya to throw, so then he could counter him and then throw back. But if you actually just like don't throw and wait for him to start opening up, you can throw at the same time as he does, and he does leave openings. Because if you guys notice, when he throws his jab and maybe sometimes his cross or his like right hook, there's an opening there. He kind of stands like straight up by you, and he throws it, and he kind of flares his elbow out too. So if Dricus can catch him for clean right, I think he could drop him like that. But overall, I feel like Strickland, he's going to be controlling the distance very well. He's going to be using his jab effectively, using that front kick effectively. And eventually, I think he's going to be able to put a pace on Dricus. I don't think he's going to finish Dricus, but I think it's going to be like in the first few rounds, it's going to be close. But after that, I think it's going to be pretty clear for a Strickland winner. Like, although Dricus is still going to be in there, I still feel like Sean Strickland is just going to be able to outclass him, and we'll see what happens. I just hope this fight actually lives up to the hype. You know, they're talking about, oh, let's have a death match, this and that. Like, come on, we gotta see it. Like, there's so many times where, like the last pay-per-view, Edwards and Covington. Like, you think that you would have thought that this fight would have been a war, really exciting, but it wasn't. So I'm hoping that this fight actually lives up to the hype, and that they weren't just talking rubbish. But yeah, let me know what you guys' predictions are. I got Sean Strickland winning by decision. This is a 50-50 fight, so I would not be shocked at all if Dricus du Plessis does pull it off. And yeah, like if Strickland wins, I would like to see him. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but you might as well put him in there with Khamzat. And if Dricus wins, you got to do the blood feud with Israel Adesanya.